Yo, it's your boy, Orion, one half of the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Back at you with a new video. The Washington Cheerleaders scandal. Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy either on here, patreon.com, or our GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Wow. Well, this morning has been crazy. There was speculation. Obviously, there may be a new team name for the no longer Washington Redskins. What would it be? But instead of getting a new team name, you get some more drama for the Washington organization led by Dan Snyder. Even though things look bad for him being the owner, he is not going to get kicked out of his position. I mean, they can put all the full court press on him as much as you want, but he's still the owner. But it's just one of those things. It's the last thing that the NFC East needs. It's the last thing that the Washington Redskins, the Washington organization, Red Tails, Red Wolves, whatever the organization is going to be called. But I definitely want to go over to the Washington Cheerleaders scandal. This is nothing new. If you ended up reading articles back from 2018 and prior, this has been something that's been happening not only for the Washington Redskins or the Washington organization, but many organizations across the NFL. It definitely needs to stop. It's something that was kind of shoved under the rug. And then now with the scandal and everything that's coming out, I'll read you a little excerpt from some of the stuff in the Washington Post that was released today. And then obviously I want to go over a little bit with Dak Prescott, him not getting the long-term deal. I ended up recording Good Morning Football while I was at work, so I got it going on right now. And speaking of Dak Prescott, he's on the screen right now. Kay Adams, Nate Burleson, and obviously Kyle Brandt and company talking about him, if he's worth it. Is he worth the money? Is he worth the long-term deal? Are the Cowboys going to regret it? Is Dak going to regret it? Because the thing is, Dak wanted 4 years. The Cowboys wanted to give him 5. If Dak gets injured this season, you can kiss that fucking money goodbye. Not only from the Cowboys, right, but any other team after this year. The value is definitely going to go downhill, down the tubes. But if he has a great year, it could skyrocket him into another category. Maybe not Patrick Mahomes money, but it'll be interesting to kind of see. I kind of feel that Mike McCarthy wants someone that's his guy. So no matter how good he does with Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, the rookie, Zeke Elliott, and the rest, I feel that we're going to kind of watch him play this season. I imagine he'll have a good season. They'll probably have a top 5 offense in the league unless they have a lot of injuries. But when it's all said and done, I can definitely see Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones sitting in the room. I feel Jerry Jones wants him, right? They don't want to pay him as much as Dak wants, but Jerry wants him. This is Jerry's world, all right? You feel me? But Mike McCarthy, if he's gonna get a fair shot to be the head coach on the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys, quote unquote, America's team for 3 to 5 years, Dak Prescott might not be the right quarterback for him. And I have a kind of a scenario I want to throw at you. Aaron Rodgers, right, played with McCarthy. People said that there were some issues there, right? They picked up Jordan Love in the draft. Aaron Rodgers has been vocal, right, that he's not happy with that. He knows that his time is coming to an end in Green Bay. He is not going to be a Green Bay Packer for life. So let's fast forward to maybe a year to 3 years from now. Could it be possible that the Green Bay Packers trade Aaron Rodgers in like 2 years to the Dallas Cowboys to move on, and then he gets reunited with his head coach? I know it kind of sounds crazy, but I'm just kind of looking at scenarios. If they don't believe in Dak Prescott, even though Aaron Rodgers would be older at that point, I could definitely see that possibility happening depending on the money and the salary cap, if they believe in Dak or not. And it would only be like a Tom Brady Buccaneers kind of deal where it would be maybe like a 1 or 2 year deal at that point for Aaron Rodgers. And I know that would be weird to see him in a Dallas Cowboy uniform, but to be reunited with Mike McCarthy, I know I got a lot of ESP. I can see the future to a certain degree. A lot of times I'll say something, and then it comes into fruition. I don't know how it happens, but sometimes I'll just think about something, I'll talk about something, and then fucking 2 days later or a day later, the shit happens. Sometimes kind of creepy. But I definitely have a little kind of ESP to a certain degree as far as the NFL and sports, with just the reading and just the way that I'm kind of thinking outside the box. So I want to go over that. And we can talk about Derrick Henry, all right? Getting paid. 4 years, $50 million. Congratulations, you deserve it. It was really the only guy besides Myles Garrett getting that guwap, getting that cheddar. So we got a good show today. I'm not going to go for an intensely long time, but I wanted just to say hello and kind of touch base with you guys. See what you guys think, about the Washington Cheerleaders scandal, Dak Prescott, if they should have gave him the deal, if they should have gave him the money, or was it good just to use the franchise tag, or was it a huge mistake on Dak's part? Or maybe the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry's world. And how do you guys feel about Derrick Henry and the money that he got? Worth the pennies? Worth the pennies? Worth the dollars that they gave him? The millies? Or no? Let me know. So I'm going to acknowledge everybody in the room. So we got Lenny D in the building. Fly, Eagles, fly. They ended up having a thing on Bleacher saying, who do you think that was the most underrated in Madden in the whole game so far? And I put a little GIF, a little meme. Carson Wentz. I feel that he was one of those guys that was kind of disrespected. We're going to get the 5th number 99 tomorrow. So I'm kind of curious to see who it's going to be. We saw Patrick Mahomes. We saw Christian McCaffrey. We saw Aaron Donald, right? We saw Stephon Gilmore today. Who is number 5? If I was going to say it, and like I said, I got a little ESP, so we'll see if it happens. But to me, the only other 99 in my book is Quentin Nelson, right? Quentin Nelson, the best offensive lineman in football for the Indianapolis Colts. So we'll see if I'm correct. But if I had to put money on it, that's where I would go. But Madden is so crazy. Sometimes you can kind of guess what the ratings are going to be. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes they're wrong. Your boys in the building. Quentin Nelson, the 5th number 99, and the only other 99. I know it's not DeAndre Hopkins or Michael Thomas, which you could definitely argue, especially Michael Thomas from last year, from the season that he had. But I'm going to go Quentin Nelson. We'll see if I'm right tomorrow when they release that. Big facts. Javon Wright, keep pounding. Panthers in the building. What to do? Pierce Clymer, he said, I just came in to say goodnight. Good night for you, or good night to the Washington Redskins? The Washington organization, the Red Tails, the Red Wolves, or whatever they're going to be. But good to see you. Anthony, what to do? Dan Snyder needs to sell the team. They might be able to put some pressure in the neck. And try to really put the pressure on him, stepping on the throat and be like, hey, you got to get rid of this team, Dan Snyder. But this thing has been going on in the Washington organization. I've read articles, from 2018 where cheerleaders are feeling threatened, feeling pressured, and almost feeling pimped out at these different photo shoots. Like if you saw my thumbnail and then the picture in the corner, that's one of the main pictures. They actually didn't even do it in D.C., they went to a private island, and then they ended up doing the photo shoot. Some of the members of the photo shoot were topless, and then you had these, higher-ups, executives, they did, the body paint off, for some of the cheerleaders. But then you had some of these season ticket holders and higher-ups that were, available to be there, which is already kind of wrong right there as it is. And then afterwards, there was, a club situation where it's not like they were paid to be hookers or anything like that, but they were almost like escorts to a certain degree, which is, I don't know why they would be pimping out, their cheerleaders like that. Obviously they got a lot of beautiful cheerleaders in the organization, just like every single NFL team does. But come on, Washington, you got to be better than that. It's just crazy to me. That they would even think that would be okay, or they would be able to get away with it. And that's facts. So we got the Washington Cheerleaders scandal, Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com, or GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. You feel me? Otson in the building. Oregon Ducks. 24/7. Let's go, baby. But yeah, it's just a crazy day, so I definitely had to hop on and just touch on a few of the stories, and I'm going to start to read a little excerpt from the Washington Post. So if you guys don't really know all the details with everything that's going down, I can give you kind of up to speed with everything that's there. Javon Wright, run CMC 99 in Madden. You love it. I know you do. Troll Patrol, my dog. What up, NWSF? What's Marcus' feelings about the Skins? Not too sure. I imagine he's not too happy about it, but it's something that they call Redskin-ish. You feel me? Odin's Child, bang! $10. But like I said, if I was a Washington fan, Washington Redskin fan, Red Tail, Red Wolves, whatever you want to call them, it's got to be a little depressing. It's almost like prior for me getting Tom Brady and Gronk. When you're a team that's typically on the bottom of the division and you haven't won a playoff game since 2005, the Redskins. And ironically, who did they beat in 2005? My Buccaneers. With who? Who was it, if you guys know? Who was the quarterback for my Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2005 when the Redskins beat Tampa Bay? It wasn't Phil Simms. It was Chris Simms. So I've gone through a lot of bad quarterbacks over the years, but it's been a long time for the Redskins and the Bucs being relevant again, and now the Redskins are kind of getting relevant for the wrong reasons. You know, now you're getting the Redskin name taken away, which is good. That's you know, on the lighter side. I mean, there's a lot of sensitivity with everything that's going on with everything in the country, you know, with racism and everything that's going on. So I get it. So as far as that part, you know, with the name change, that's been a long time coming. You know, maybe the Cleveland Indians and a few other teams down the road, Atlanta Braves with the chop. We'll see if that's, you know, banned or changed in the future. But as far as the Redskins are concerned, I mean, you want to move forward. And then I was thinking about Trent Williams. What is he thinking right now? He's probably like, damn, I'm kind of maybe glad I'm out of here at this point. But let's be positive, okay? Let's be positive. The name change will happen. You ended up getting one of these like guys that sit on trademarks. I don't know if you guys saw that story, but there's a guy in D.C. that bought 44 or 45 trademarks of every single Washington possible name. Red Tails, Red Wolves, like Generals, like every single one. So he can make money off of it. So eventually when the Redskins or the AKA Washington, whatever you call them, when they decide Dan Snyder gives this guy a call on his lawyer, they're going to have to pay a huge amount to this guy to use the name. And I think the guy for the patents, it was like $275 per name. And he bought like 40 or 45 of them. So kind of smart. You know, for a hustler, I'll give him some credit for that, you know, to be able to jump on it since Washington is taking so long to come up with a team name. I mean, he's going to get his bank and his cheddar for kind of having the money to be able to do it. And then he's going to definitely get paid with that some kind of settlement, you know, to be able to use that trademark, you know, for that name. But Ron Rivera is there. Riverboat Ron. So I feel that, I mean, there are a lot of these guys that are involved in the scandal weren't necessarily saying Dan Snyder directly, but guys, his minions, you know, his guys that were underneath them. Some of them have already quit. Some of them have gotten let go. So this is not an ending story anytime soon. But I feel with Riverboat Ron, I love the guy. I loved what he represented for Carolina and obviously with the Panthers. Keep pounding, right? So I think Washington, just like the Giants, you know, they're not that far behind the Cowboys and Eagles. Yes, the Cowboys and Eagles right now on paper, and they have a little bit more structure, not as much bad shit going on in the media. I mean, we heard about the Dallas Goedert getting knocked out by some drunk guy in the Dakotas when he went back home, right? But other than that, you know, there hasn't been too much. D-Jax is another example, I guess, with the anti-Semitism comments. So Eagles usually are in the news. Not so much the Cowboys unless Jerry's World is, you know, do something crazy. But I think Riverboat Ron will be able to recover from this. And the defense is lit. I mean, Chase Young has the best shot to be Defensive Rookie of the Year. That's facts. There's other guys, you know, that will be able to step up and make a name for themselves. But he's got to be the ultimate favorite. They got a beast D-line, good linebacking core. The defense looks good to me, the front seven, right? The offense, though, we got to see what Haskins, Darius Guice, can he stay healthy for a full season? Can Haskins develop? But the best player I like on the offense is Scary Terry McLaurin. He's great. You know, he's already, to me, a top 16 wide receiver in the NFL already. with guys like A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf all around that same level where they're just priming to break out. So give it some time, but it's just kind of a black eye on the organization. But the Washington Redskins have kind of had a black eye on the organization for quite some time. They're DC sports in general, with the different ownership and Bruce Allen, and he was on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing the same kind of shit. Bruce Allen, obviously with the Redskins. So Tampa Bay and the Redskins have a lot of connections together with personnel, players, management that bounce from team to team, back and forth. But I definitely think that they can turn it around. But it's odd, man. It's just like, this is really shitty timing, you know what I mean? They're coming up with the Red Tails, the Red Wolves. I think I like the Red Wolves the best. Comment below what you guys like for the new Washington name. I've looked at a lot of logos, concepts, but the one that I seen that looked this lit, the best one was the Red Wolves. So I'm hoping that they go with that. But, the scandal is far from being over. But, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm going to read a little bit from the Washington Post so you guys know what's going on. Odin's Chow with a $10 donation, who will be next to support the Northwest Sports Fanatics. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. Hey, Ron. What up, dog? What it do? Anthony says, can you say Saints are going to win the Super Bowl this year? I'm not going to say that the Saints are going to win the Super Bowl, but I definitely think that they have a great shot to make the NFC Championship game this season. I think they have a great shot to beat my Bucks, the Panthers, and the Falcons and win the NFC South. Because I'm a realist, I'm not biased. I still think that the Bucks have a great shot to make the playoffs this year and next year with Brady and Gronk. But on paper, Saints have a nice, deep team, and I got to give credit where credit's due. They look great, right? But there's going to be a lot of competition in the NFC. And if they get there, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to beat the Chiefs or the Ravens, who are more than likely the two favorites to get there. And to me, honestly, out of all the teams, and you know how much reading I do and how much game film I watch, Good Morning Football, NFL Total Access, Bleacher Report, ESPN, every single media outlet on Twitter, I'm always reading and watching film 6 to 7 hours a day, even after I get off work on my full-time job. I really feel that the champion this season, my first choice would be back-to-back Kansas City Chiefs, like Drake would say, back-to-back. That's number one for me. Number two, I'd probably go Baltimore Ravens, as long as there's no serious injuries. I really think that the depth is there. Lamar Jackson can get better, and you got guys like Mark Andrews, Hollywood Brown, plenty of weapons. You got Calais Campbell coming over. Judon didn't leave. They're very, very dangerous. Humphrey, so they got many, many pieces that are just lit off the chain. Ozzie Newsome, even though he's not directly involved anymore, to me, he's always been one of the best GMs or one of the most educated, smart, bright minds. They always hit on their draft picks. I mean, when's the last time that you've heard in like the last 10 or 12 years that the Ravens didn't get at least one amazing player from every draft? A lot of times they get 2 or 3. And they keep stockpiling these great players over and over and over. So that's what I would go. And then third option would be the NFC team, whoever it is. But if it ends up being an NFC team, I don't know if you can beat Kansas City with Patrick Mahomes. Chris Jones is back. You feel me? Frank Clark is there. Honey Badger is there, returning 20 of 22 starters. And you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Sammy Watkins took less money. Shaboing boing. They're going to be hard to beat. Period. And then if somehow the Chiefs get beat and the Ravens get that spot, I don't know if you're going to be able to beat that type of offense. I mean, it's a kind of a 49er, Oregon Ducks, Washington Redskins from the past, RG3, Colin Kaepernick, Marcus Mariota, that RPO's kind of style. But the thing is, he's the fastest quarterback in the league, and he'll probably get faster. There's not many guys that are going to be able to keep up with him. Henry Ruggs, Tyreek the Freak Hill, but they don't play defense. So, I mean, how are you going to stop him when he's going down the sideline? I mean, he was 6th in rushing Lamar Jackson last season. Only 5 running backs beat him. Think about how amazing of a season he had. That's why he got the MVP. He was 6th in fucking rushing. 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a quarterback. And we thought Michael Vick was amazing. And we haven't even seen anything yet from Lamar. I mean, he's just getting into the point where if he can get his accuracy, he'll never be as good accuracy-wise, threading the needle as Patrick Mahomes, right? But just imagine if he can just keep progressing these next 2-3 years where he's better on third down, right? He's better in the red zone. He knows when to throw the ball away. Doesn't take a lot of big hits or big sacks, right? Knows when to tuck it. Knows when to slide. it could really pay dividends for the Ravens. And like I told you guys before, I think the Chiefs are due for many Super Bowls, many Lombardis, even if Bieniemy leaves after this season and becomes a head coach somewhere else. But I feel with the Ravens, in the next 6 years, don't be shocked if they make 1 or 2 Super Bowls, maybe win 1 and lose 1. I really think that they're that talented that they'll be able to get at least 1, probably appear in 2 Super Bowls in the next 6 years. And then if it's not them, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. They should be appearing in many Super Bowls for the next 10 years as long as Mahomes doesn't get hurt with that big extension that he ended up getting. And that's facts. Javon Wright. He said the Tre'Davious White, the corner from the Buffalo Bills Mafia, was the most disrespected at a 90. Yeah, that was huge. I don't think he even gave up a fucking touchdown last season. A lot of the newer Madden rankings for safeties came out. They had fucking Harrison Smith at number 1. Harrison Smith maybe from 4 or 5 years ago, right? But you can't tell me he's better than Jamal Adams. You can't tell me that he's better than Kevin Byard, and then Honey Badger from last season. I mean, that tells you it right there that list was absolute trash, but, it is what it is. So, but I do agree. Tre'Davious White to me is one of the most underrated secondary players in the whole entire league, and that's facts. AJ Silman, what to do? Michael Thomas is the next 99. He was wearing the 99 chain that they gave all the 99 players. I saw a leak, though, that him and we'll see if it's real or not, but I saw a leak that him and DeAndre Hopkins, and this was like 3 or 4 days ago, that they were both 98s, and that the no wide receiver was a 99. So if you really think about it, Quentin Nelson, to me, deserves to be that 5th 99. By far, he's the best offensive lineman in the NFL. They went quarterback, Mahomes, run CMC at running back, Aaron Donald at D-tackle, right? Corner, Stephon Gilmore. So what's the one spot that it could be? Quentin Nelson, to me, right, would be deserving. Michael Thomas at wide receiver from last season and his accomplishments, deserving. The only other person it could be is B-Wags, Bobby Wagner from the Seattle Seahawks at middle linebacker. That's it. Those are the only 3 options. So it's got to be one of those 3. Bobby Wagner, Quentin Nelson, or Michael Thomas. So I don't know if that leak that I saw was fake. Maybe Michael Thomas is the 5th 99 at wide receiver. But he only got in, he hasn't got over 9 touchdowns, I believe, in his career yet. So, yeah, he's getting a lot of yards and he's getting a lot of touchdowns, but he's never broke double digits in his career just yet, I believe. I do a lot of reading and a lot of research, but I'm pretty sure that's correct, that he hasn't gotten any more than 9. Like 9, 2 or 3 years in a row, I believe. Your boy reads. I watched the film. So, but he is definitely deserving. We'll see. We will see. Javon Wright, why is it deleting all my messages? I don't know. I might have pushed something in an accident on my end, my guy. My bad. Zachary, he said, I hate being a Redskins fan. Fire Dan Snyder. You know what? You guys got a bright future. Things are going to be looking up, Zachary. And I wouldn't be too mad about it. Like I said, yeah, the name change and then the scandal with the cheerleaders. Dan Snyder, he's not going to sell the team. The defense is already there. We just need to get your offense to catch up to the defense. A couple more wide receivers, another stud tight end, build that O-line again. If guys could stay healthy and you can get Haskins, it'll be nice. I really like the potential of what they could, bring in the next few years, especially with Danny Dimes, Saquon, and the New York Football Giants. Odin's Child, $10. Those Eclipse helmets. I know I was going to put the Kansas City Chief one up there, but then obviously with the Redskins cheerleader scandal, Washington scandal, I did that. But I was going to end up doing just a whole video off the helmets with the Eclipse helmets. If you guys haven't checked those out, you can see in my name down there, they're all black, and they have all new helmets on NFL Shop, and it sounds like the players and the teams are going to wear them at least once this season. Pretty lit. The Chiefs one is lit. I like my Buccaneers one. Good color scheme, black helmet, red logo. Same thing with the Chiefs as well. I can actually pull it up here. Let me see if I can pull up the Chiefs one. I had it here somewhere. All right, here we go. Oh, baby. Look at that. Editing on the fly. There you go, Odin's Child. That one's for you. Let me put that up there. Okay, there we go. Kansas City Chiefs. Can you see it? There we go. Chiefs. Eclipse helmet. There it is, baby. Woo! Looking smooth out there. Okay. Let's go, baby. But, yeah, those Eclipse helmets, check those out. Definitely fire. I can't wait to see what happens there. Javon Wright said Chris Sims. Yeah, Buster Brown. Odin's Child says, yep, now people trying to get the Chiefs to change the name. I did see that too. I don't know if that's something that's really going to be able to happen, them, changing the name. Let's keep it, man. You're not going to be able to change every single organization that has a Indian connotations name. So the Braves are gone, the Indians are gone from Cleveland, the Chiefs are gone. I mean, come on, man. I get everything that's going on, but it's just, I don't know. Let's take it just one day at a time. I can only handle so much. I need this NFL to be able to come back. And then the NFL had a report today that we had, I think, 72 NFL players tested positive for COVID. But then we have over 2,000 that are playing for our NFL favorite teams. So it's not a very high percentage, so we're going to have to kind of see where that goes. But I'm hoping that we still have a season. Maybe no fans, just to keep everybody safe, but we got to have some type of season, period. Joshua says, I can't imagine what Marcus has been going through as of late. Yeah, he's used to it. Redskin-ish. It's nothing new, for someone like him that's been a longtime fan from the 80s and until now. Never gave up on the team just like me and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Or we're still going through it. You think Lattimore should have been 88? Oh, Anthony, that is a good question. For me, I feel Lattimore's more of like a 90, you know what I mean? But they got so many guys sitting at, 90, 91, 89, 88. They don't like to, in Madden, if you notice, they don't like to have like 4 guys at 90. They'll have 2 at 90 and 2 at 88, or 2 at 90, 1 at 89, and 1 at 88, just because Madden's fucking stupid, you know what I mean? But, for Lattimore, to me, based off his skill set, when he came in as a rookie, he was super hot, like 5 picks, very dominant, and then he's had a couple down years where he hasn't been as explosive, right? But just still very solid. But I would throw a nice rounded off 90 on him. He's due for a really big season with Cameron Jordan this season, Sheldon Rankins, Mr. Shimmy and Mr. Shake. So I'm excited to see what he can do to have a bounce back year, and maybe we can get about 5 or 6 picks, maybe even a couple off Tom Brady and my Buccaneers. I'm excited to see what his potential is moving forward. Marshawn Lattimore, I absolutely love him. For the Nolans Saints, representing the 504. Ashton White, representing Danny Dimes and Saquon Barkley for the Giants, New York Football Giants. He said Dan Snyder is getting from owner. Getting from owner? It's going to be relieved from the ownership? We will see. New era field is over from the Buffalo Bills. And then what did they have? FedEx, I think, is the main sponsor over there, so that might change sooner than later. Javon Wright says Jeremy Chin, Rookie of the Year. Troll Patrol, Skip Bayless officially jumped the Tampa Bay bandwagon. I've seen a lot of people, they've had, top 5 bandwagon teams. They came out with a video. That'll be something that I might come out with where I can give you some teams that people will be hopping on. You already know, Arizona Cardinals with Kyler, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Buffalo Bills, Bills Mafia. Those are 3 right off the bat that you can think of. And I think, honestly, with the Cincinnati Bengals, this year, next year with Joe Burrow, if they really start popping off, with T. Higgins and A.J. Brown and avoid the Boyd, Tyler Boyd, and John Ross, Joe Mixon. Those are some kind of exciting players if they can stay healthy. They're going to be fun, especially if we can get any type of glimpse of Joe Burrow of what he was at LSU. And I'm rooting for him. I don't think he's going to be a bust whatsoever. So I'm excited to see where that goes too. Odin's Child said, of course, Skip Bayless did. Skip. Washington Red Wolves. I'm telling you, man, I like that name. That's the best one, Javon. Panthers making the playoffs, 7th seed, 9-7. Not happening. Because if anything happens and there's going to be a 6th, 7th, 8th seed, if they're going to be an extra seed, that 7th spot, that's going to be Tampa Bay. Because if we don't end up winning the division, I honestly feel, you got a lot going on for you. Coach Rule, first year, Teddy Two Gloves, Teddy Bridgewater, no Luke Kuechly. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I think you're going to need a couple years of building before you can get to that point. I do love Derrick Brown, from Auburn up front, but you got a lot of holes still on that defense and that offense. I like DJ Moore, I like Curtis Samuel, I like Teddy Two Gloves. There's pieces there, but I think Tampa's team, let's be honest, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a little bit more depth. You know what I mean? We got Tom Brady, we got Gronk, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are better than any receiver that you have on your team on the Panthers. And that's facts, right? I got 3 solid tight ends, and then the defense is better. JPP, Shaq Barrett, Ndamukong Suh, Devin White from LSU, Levante David, my favorite player. in the entire league. So not saying that you guys are that far behind, but that's just my personal opinion. And I think people on the outside looking in would agree as well. You're coming. You're getting closer. You're better. You're definitely going to be better than the Falcons more than likely. But I don't think you're going to be better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Just saying. But you never know. We will see. That's what makes the NFL great. You never know. Odin's Child. Nope. As a PETA member, animal names should be banned. I mean, at some point, it's going to be... you got college football and college basketball and then pro sports, NFL, MLB, NBA, hockey, NHL. I don't know, man. It's going to be crazy. That's for damn sure, Odin's Child. Good to see you. Justin Wills, what up, man? What to do? You think 3 NFC South teams making the playoffs? No. 2. Tampa Bay and the New Orleans Saints. And that's facts. But I think that pretty soon the Panthers will get caught up, and they'll be knocking on the door. But they just lost too much. Now, if Cam Newton was still there and he was healthy and Luke Kuechly didn't retire, then you can maybe argue a little bit stronger, a little bit more. You know what I mean? But since Cam is not there, and arguably the best middle linebacker in football is retired, Luke Kuechly, besides B-Wags, Bobby Wagner, these last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they have been the pinnacle of what a middle linebacker is. Since Ray Lewis retired and Brian Urlacher retired, that's what you want your linebacker to look like. Derrick Brooks on the outside, my favorite all-time player, Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Derrick Brooks, but he played outside linebacker. But Ray Lewis and Brian Urlacher kind of defined that position, in the 90s and the early 2000s, and then it got taken over by Luke Kuechly, right, and B-Wags, Bobby Wagner. That's my personal opinion based off the tape and the film that I watch. Quentin Nelson is going to be the best guard of all time when he's done. He's definitely going to be in the running. I love him. He's just an amazing talent. He doesn't, give up sacks. He doesn't give up a lot of pressures. He's just a physical beast. I know Marshawn Lynch is beast mode, but Quentin Nelson is the fucking beast mode. I haven't seen that many guys. Jonathan Ogden rings a bell. Walter Jones. Some guys in the past that I was like, wow, these guys are just fucking. Orlando Pace won Ohio State, and then what he ended up doing in the pros for the Rams. There's a few guys that always stand out in my brain when I see offensive linemen where I'm just like, holy shit, these guys are fucking awesome. I wish they were on my team. And I get that holy shit moment, that holy shit, like ECW back in the day, just like I do with Quentin Nelson. And just speaking of wrestling, did anybody watch Brian Cage versus Moxley in AEW last night? Pretty good. They actually had a pretty good show last night. AEW, the best show for wrestling. AEW Dynamite. A lot better than Raw, a lot better than SmackDown. I say it every week. A little bit better than NXT, but I love Keith Lee, right? So I'm glad that he's got the belts. So at least they're doing something there with him. Got to meet him when he came to NXT TakeOver Portland. Got a little dap from him, and when he ended up beating Dijakovic, and then ended up having a great match in that NXT TakeOver Portland. Got to talk to him for about 5 seconds, which was pretty cool. And since you're sitting right on the guardrail with the seats that I had, it'll definitely be one of those memories that I'll always have forever. Keith Lee, that's my guy, representing WWE NXT. All right, let me see here. So I heard Hardman getting a bigger role in the offense. McCole Hardman, absolutely he will. He's amazing. He hasn't even really tiptoed around his potential, period. Nelson does have so much potential to be an all-time great. To be honest, I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. And I can kind of gauge players as long as they don't have a serious injury. But based on what I've already seen with him at Notre Dame, right, with McGlinchey that was there on the Niners, he was much better than McGlinchey, right? But Notre Dame knows how to breed offensive linemen. It probably is the best college for breeding offensive linemen. Go take a peek at Notre Dame and look at all the offensive linemen that they've bred over the last 25 years. It's fucking crazy. But Quentin Nelson does have the ability to be one of the best of all time, and I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer. If I had to put money on it, if he's going to be a Hall of Famer or not, Hall of Famer today. He is. He's that damn good. He's going to go to so many consecutive Pro Bowls. He might end up, rolling off 10 in a row. He's that fucking good. And I don't really see anybody that can compete with him on the other side of the ball. And that's saying something. He really does hold it down. Especially for guards, tackles. The centers don't get a lot of love either, but especially guards and tackles. God, what a tough job. Probably the toughest in the NFL besides quarterback. And that's big facts. Lenny Dees had just dropped a video. Awesome, man. Keep grinding. Keep grinding, my guy. Fly, Eagles, fly. I'll support you just like I support every other person that's a fanatic. You're part of the fanatic family for the Northwest Sports Fanatics, and you got a YouTube channel. You got an Instagram. You got a Facebook. Whatever you got, I'll support you. You got a SoundCloud. I'm always going to be supporting every single day, every single night. All right, Javon Wright, Bank of America Stadium seating 20K people. Yeah, we're going to see. We'll see. What to do? Go get her. Go get her in the building. What to do? Ashton White, Jalen Ramsey, a 94 in Madden, but Tre'Davious White is a top 3 cornerback in the league. That's disappointing. Yeah, of course, man. They don't get their ratings right. I mean, I can go over on the next video of all the ratings that were fucked up for corners and for safeties. I can give you my breakdown based off the film. But I think that if you're a real hardcore fanatic and you really have no bias, I mean, a lot of us agree when you see certain lists. There might be a player or rating like 1 point off, but normally the comparisons and the ratings are very, very similar, and that's facts. Let's see here. Anthony says, I see Joe Burrow as more as a mobile Matt Ryan. It's possible. We don't really know how much potential, Burrow has. I mean, I definitely think that he could be one of the main superstars in our league, especially with Roethlisberger and Phillip Rivers and Brady and Breeze going to be kind of on the way out. Jaron Wade says, when will the other guy, Marcus, when will he come back? Well, he moved away. He lives in Salem now, which is about an hour away from where I'm at. We used to live about 10 minutes away from each other. So I'm going to keep grinding out recordings. He does podcasting, through Anchor FM and obviously some of the other apps, just to have something for his voice to be able to go over things. And then once the NFL season starts, he'll hopefully be able to try to come out and make as many Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night games. And then I'll be able to do the rest. So some of the videos will be me, and some of the videos will be both of us. But I got to keep the channel moving, with this time period with COVID and everything that's going on. But he'll be able to show up as much as he can, and that's facts. Tampa will be higher than the 7th. Yeah, I think so. Official Young Nola. There you go, my guy. I knew you were going to change it at some time. There you go, baby. Your boy's smart. I told you. So that way your music doesn't get mixed up with the others. My boy. I appreciate you very much, Nola. Keep grinding. Stay positive. I talk to you probably more than a lot of my other friends that here live in Oregon, and you live in the NO. Right? In Islands, right? And I appreciate you, man, and I'm always going to be here for you. I'm always going to support you. Never going to turn my back on you. You ever need anything, I'm always here, and I'll support your music career, your rapping career until the end of time, man. And like I said, just keep grinding it out, and as long as you don't quit, good things will happen. The doors are going to open, That's facts. Appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for being in the building. David French said, go Chiefs, Chiefs Kingdom in the building. What to do? Justin Will says, you think the Heat have a chance of winning the championship? Woo! Now you're going NBA on me. That's a whole other thing. I'm going to be doing a lot of NBA live streams. I'm going to be doing some NBA reactions once we get back to Orlando and that goes. And I'm going to be doing some MLB. So when the Dodgers come on, that's my dad's favorite team. If they're on like Sunday Night Baseball or when they're on, I'm going to be doing some live pitch-by-pitch reactions. So if you guys want to watch some baseball with me or see some reaction videos of some highlights of some great matchups in the MLB, I'm going to be pumping out a lot of material before we get into college football and NFL season. Maybe a little bit of AEW, a little NXT for wrestling fans as well, just like myself. Because, I mean, the way I was just thinking about, like, the fanatic in me, it's really right now NFL, college football, AEW. I mean, those are my three. NFL, college football, AEW. Those are my three. And I mean, I like some of the other things. I'm just not as lit for those others, but I'm going to put in a lot of hard work and passion and dedication and effort to be able to do as much material as I can. Washington Cheerleaders scandal, Dak Prescott, Derrick Henry, a reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on our YouTube page. Shout out to Odin's Child, $10 donation. Eclipse helmets, baby. Appreciate you. Love you very, very much. Let's see the rest of these people in the room. Quite a few. With the Heat, let's get back to that. Anything is possible. The Lakers, right, with LeBron and AD, a.k.a. the Brow, and Kuzma, right? And then you had Paul George and the Claw, Kawhi Leonard, right? And then you had Giannis. Those were the three teams, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Lakers, and the Clippers. Those were the three best teams going in to COVID. So it's not going to be necessarily who has the best chemistry or the best bench, right? It's going to be who's in the best shape, to me personally. I mean, even our Portland Trailblazers, Rip City. We got Dame, we got CJ. We're having Collins come back, Nurk. So, I mean, our lineup with Melo, we have one of the deepest rosters right now in the NBA. But I don't know if they're going to be able to put it all together. So it might be some random team or random teams in the NBA championship this year. And regardless of whoever wins, there'll be an asterisk by the name because of COVID. But if you end up winning the fucking championship, do you think they're going to fucking care? Like, if the Blazers win, fuck, we'll take it. If the Heat win, you think they're going to complain that they ended up beating, like, the Lakers or whoever they end up beating? I mean, we might have two rando teams, in there. It could be like the Heat versus the Jazz. I mean, we don't know. That's what kind of makes it exciting for the first time in quite some time. No fans in Orlando, in the bubble. You know what I mean? Who's been keeping in shape? Who's been working the hardest? Who's been watching film? Who's been getting fat? Who's been eating ribs? Who's been fucking off? Who's been drinking or doing drugs? Who's been really focused, in this NBA bubble? And that'll really show, once we get to see these games. Same thing with MLB. And we'll be able to see, with all the players and the teams, who's been focused, who's been grinding, like your boy, official young Nola, and your boy Orion. Grind, preparation, grind, repeat, right? And who's been fucking off. And you can definitely tell once we end up seeing the results in the first couple weeks in the bubble in Orlando, as well as MLB when we get that 60-game schedule, and then when we go to college football and NFL. I'm excited. This is going to be an exciting, really, really not just anticipated, but it's like you don't know. You don't know what you're going to get, especially with no fans. What's that vibe going to be like? How are the players going to react with empty stadiums with cardboard cutouts, in the stands for like MLB games? You can buy a cardboard cutout for $50 to $250. I'll probably buy one for the Mariners or for LA for the Dodgers for my dad. But it's just a kind of an ironic thing to talk about instead of actually going to the games this season. So you never know. Odin's Child said FTR, a.k.a. the Revival, still sucks. Agreed. I like my Young Bucks. Kenny Omega, like that. That's my guy, right? Love me some Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. And then they had that awesome match yesterday. Kenny Omega, Young Bucks versus Jurassic. Woo! Man, that was good. So many lit set sequences and sets and moves and double team moves. And then we got to see Mox and Brian Cage. If you're not a fan of wrestling or haven't watched it in a while and you're looking to jump back in AEW. It'll remind you of ECW or WCW at its peak in the 90s, early 2000s. You won't be disappointed. Jericho, John Moxley, a.k.a. Dean Ambrose. I mean, they got a very talented roster, and it's fun to watch. It's a must-watch for me every Wednesday, period. Javon says, nah, I don't see Jimmy leading a team to a chip as a star player. We'll see. Lenny D says, in my opinion, Adam Cole is the best wrestler in all of WWE, including Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Adam Cole, baby! I got an Adam Cole shirt. I love Adam Cole and everything that he represents. He's a little on the short side, but everything that he does, in the ring is exciting. I like Keith Lee. I'm a big Keith Lee guy. They didn't really do Ricochet right after NXT and, the way that they're kind of pushing certain wrestlers and not pushing others, but you have a good argument there, Lenny D. I definitely like Adam Cole. For me, it's Kenny Omega. If you end up watching AEW, which I imagine, Lenny D, you don't, but if you end up watching it and comparing Kenny Omega and then you watch Adam Cole, baby, you'll be surprised. Kenny Omega is on that same level as Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, and I think he's the best wrestler in the business out of any federation, any platform, and a lot of people agree. I mean, he was going to be one of the biggest free agents for wrestling, period. But I do like Adam Cole. Reminds you of HBK, Odin's Child said. That's true. It's true. It's damn true. Javon says CMC is who Barry Sanders wished he could be. Come on, man. It's Barry Sanders' birthday today. Come on, man. Barry Sanders on a whole nother level. 10 years, 10 Pro Bowls, Hall of Famer, best jukes in the business. Come on, man. Devontae Griffin, Cowboys, we them boys in the building. What to do, man? Say, man, I was so mad they didn't sign Dak. And a little bit of me got frustrated too, but I had to think, okay, does McCarthy want him? But the main reason is that I think the Cowboys wanted to sign him, but Dak wanted 4 years. Cowboys wanted 5 because he wants to have that flexibility when all those other quarterbacks are going to be available to get that guap, to get that cheddar, to break the bank, right? 4 years from now, he wants to be in that same category to break the bank. So he's betting on himself to have a great year, which he definitely has a possibility in doing. Let's hope he doesn't get hurt, because if he does get hurt, then kiss all that money goodbye that you could have had in that 5-year contract. You're never going to get Mahomes money, unless Dak gets him to the NFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. Then, you could probably argue a little bit. You could definitely have some of the lawyers and the people, involved, to try to get you the most money that you deserve. But we'll see. It's definitely a prove-it year for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott, which I will get into. Lenny D. Yeah, Cole, do remind me of HBK. Nobody believes me when I say that Shawn Michaels is the greatest wrestler of all time. You can definitely put him up there. I mean, I watched him with Marty Jannetty and the Rockers. I mean, he definitely is one of those great personas, HBK, Heartbreak Kid. Lenny D. Harrison Smith was rated way too high. Damn right he was. That was ridiculous. Then Lenny D goes, to me, Shawn Michaels and Jeff Hardy changed wrestling forever. Forever! Well, TLC matches, Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy. I mean, that really revolutionized the game at TLC, right? Justin Wills, what's your top 5 shooting guards of all time? Woo, man, you getting into NBA. Bro, I've been watching sports since 85. So if you really want me to break it down, I'll break it down. So top 5 shooting guards of all time. So just off the head, Michael Jordan 1, the GOAT, the best of all time. Not even close, right? But if there was anyone that was close, R.I.P., Kobe Bryant. Kobe! Right? So MJ, number 1, the GOAT, the best of all time. Number 2, Kobe Bryant, right? Undeniable, Kobe Bryant. 3, for me, I would probably go Clyde Drexler for everything, because I saw him play in college at Houston with Akeem Olajuwon, and seen what he could do for my Blazers, and then win the championship with Olajuwon on the Rockets. D-Wade obviously has to be in the consideration at that shooting guard. So those would be my main 4, my fantastic 4. I'm not sure if I really have a 5. You know what I mean? If I go back in history and we're going back to like Bob Cousy and Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell and Jerry West and you're going back and Pete Maravich, you know what I mean? And you're going really far back, I mean, based on guys that I've watched and seen. But I knew you were going to say D-Wade over Clyde. A lot of people do. But you probably didn't see Clyde like the way that I did and everything that he stood for. Because if Jordan wasn't there, Clyde and the Blazers would have won a couple championships, in my personal opinion. They had a really solid team. Porter, Drexler, Kersey, Buck Williams, Duckworth, Cliff Robinson, Uncle Cliffy. I mean, we had a nice roster. Rick Adelman at head coach. But D-Wade definitely deserves a lot of praise. And like I said, those would be my top 4, my fantastic 4 that I've watched in person or on film in my lifetime. And there's other probably guys in the past that'll be in that consideration, or guys playing now that'll be considered. Like Klay Thompson, if you have him as a shooting guard, he's got to be ranked as one of the best of all time. So maybe Klay Thompson, when it's all said and done, you're going to be able to put his name up in the rafters, and Rushmore at shooting guard. I love Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, so... Odin's Child. So I got to work, my guy. All right, man. Love you. Appreciate you. Odin's Child in the building. $10. Love you, brother. Lenny D said, Devontae Griffin, I have a lot of favorites myself, my guy. Eagles fans and Cowboy fans and all the others in the building. Love it, man. Official Young Nola, my boy, getting the PS5. I'm gonna beat the brakes off you, Nola. You think you're gonna beat me at Madden? Come on, man. My cousin's invented Madden. I'm half Japanese, bro. I made that Sony PlayStation. Sony PlayStation. Orion PlayStation. Come on, man. I've been playing Madden since the beginning. Madden 92, 93, 94, 95. I've been playing Madden before you were even born, Nola. No, but just all kidding aside, it'll be fun, man. It's one of those games, 2K and Madden. You definitely have to know what you're doing. And obviously with all the defense and the schemes, offense, we'll definitely get down on the PS5 in the new Madden, that's for sure. I can't wait. Ooh, Randy Orton? Okay. I see you. So Randy Orton, the greatest WWE wrestler of all time. I don't know about that. But he definitely has had a great career with his dad and his grandpa, third-generation wrestler. He is one of my favorites of all time. Love me some Randy Orton. RKO out of nowhere. Will says D-Wade over Clyde. Madden 21, get ready to get beat by Breeze, my guy. Hey, I'll take my Buccaneers and Brady. Shit, I'll be Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'll be anybody. It don't matter. Will said 3 rings, 1 finals MVP. Should have won the MVP in 2008. Okay, I see you. Zach DeFranco in the building. Oh, we back again, boys. What to do? See Sabu, New Jack, the GOATs. Let's be real. Ooh, I love me some Sabu. And Rob Van Dam. Love that as well. If D-Rose was never injured, he would be a top 3 point guard of all time. Maybe. He definitely was on his way, but you could say that for a lot of guys. Anthony Hardaway, Tracy McGrady as another one. Guys that Brandon Roy had a potential to be one of those amazing, shooting guards of all time. Rookie of the year, all-star, and then knee, cartilage gone, and then career ended. So, there's a lot of guys. Odin Child says, okay, I can't sleep. I'll chill for a little bit. So, Washington cheerleader scandal. So let me just read a little excerpt, and I'll go over that really quickly. Then I'll go over Dak, and then I'll go over Derrick Henry. So the much-anticipated Washington Post expose of the Washington NFL team, don't call them the Redskins, has been published. It details widespread sexual harassment within the organization. Describing women who worked for the franchise, they cried about the realization of their dream job of working in the NFL came with that they were characterized as relentless sexual objects, the harassment and verbal abuse that was ignored and in some cases condoned by top team executives. Come on, Washington. Come on, Snyder. Get it right. In all, the report cites 15, not 10, not 11, not 12, 15 different women say they were sexually harassed while working for the Washington Redskins. Among the employees accused, the harassment is Larry Michael, the team's radio announcer, who abruptly announced this week that he was leaving the team. Oh, I wonder why. Also named in the article, 2 employees that were recently fired. Director of Pro Personnel, Alex Santos, and Assistant Director of Pro Personnel, Richard Mann II. So a lot of the scouts are involved. Team owner Daniel Snyder refused to be interviewed. No shit. But then he won't be able to stay silent for long, as he'll become the talk of the NFL and likely lead for calls to Snyder to sell the team whether he wants to or not. So that's what's going down. It's crazy. 15 women. Hopefully they can get it right. And then obviously the thumbnail that I use is from the photo shoot that they went to on that private island when they had these executives watch them, do topless shoots, watch them do their swimsuit, edition calendars. It's just crazy, man. A guy, Raiders in the building. What to do? Zach says Dak should have signed the contract. Yeah, but he wanted 4 years, not 5. So the Cowboys were pressuring him to do something that he didn't want to do. So he's banking on himself. He's banking on himself to have a great year and to get paid by the Cowboys or another team. You got Zeke. You got who else? CD Lamb, right? You got Michael Gallup. You got Amari Cooper. You got the best trio at wide receiver in the NFL. But I'll tell you what, Tampa Bay, Buccaneers, we got number 2, all right? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and the new Chris Godwin from Minnesota, the rookie this season. You'll know his name when the season's over with Brady, Tyler Johnson. Just like when I told you Michael Gallup would be a breakout player last season in fantasy, and just like I told you Chris Godwin was going to break out, Tyler Johnson. It might take him a year or 2 to get comfortable with the playbook, but he can be the third option for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, not including Gronk, O.J. Howard, Cameron Brate. But I'm really excited to see what the Cowboys wide receivers are going to do, as well as my Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receivers are going to do. It's tough to be able to have solid wide receivers. Kansas City Chiefs, there's a lot of solid pieces at wide receiver as far as trios are concerned. I'm definitely anticipating some greatness to be able to showcase not only in the NFC, but in the AFC as well. Zachary says, come on, Snyder. Oh, and then it just bounced on me here real quick. What happened there? Come on, Snyder. Please sell the Red Wolves to Bezos. Well, we got to see what happens and what team name they use. I like the Red Wolves the best. I hope they end up using that. That's the one I like the best, Washington Red Wolves. But we'll see if they end up using it. I'm not sure if that'll be the one that wins. But to me, that's the one that I feel that's got the most fan support. And as far as the edits and the logos that I've seen, it's definitely looked the best to me. Let's see here. Nola says, so look, bro, AK-41 overall and 88. I bet he going up during the season. Of course he will. But can he be a 3-down back for the whole season without burning out and getting injured like last season? That's the reason why Saquon and AK-41, the ratings are a little bit lower, because they play so physical and they're so much in that beast mode that sometimes that can be a negative. You know what I mean? If you can't stay healthy, because you're just going 150% and your muscles are just, you're just doing so many jukes and so many stiff arms and so many